She fluent in that cash talk. Walk in the booth like Naomi on the catwalk. And tell them bitches whoop whoop from the Jaguar. It ain't even right though. Push me and I might go. She ain't getting money. I'm like, what the fuck the hype for? When them bitches bite flow, make my appetite go. Poof, gone, voila, magic. Looking mad good just to pull up on them rampant.
Welcome to another episode of Unhinged and Immoral. My name is Mecca and I'm congested.
Welcome. So we're definitely doing a 2 episode this week because I'm going to be a little busy next week. But you know, at the end of the day got to end. And every Thursday, y'all will be getting an episode. So we're clocked in, ready to work.
We're going to do our jobs.
We're going to do our jobs. So you got to do your job. Make sure you're tuned in every Thursday. KK. So I really want to get into the mess that's currently happening. Now, by the time this hits, we may or may not know the resolve.
By the time this hits, it will be next week because we filmed this week's episode yesterday.
Right. So I'm wondering if things will be resolved. Do you know what I'm talking about?
On TikTok?
Yes.
Girl, this shit is, mind you, this is all an offshoot of the Beyonce Conversation, which we talked about last week.
It's just
so
like...
it's gone 75 directions. We're on a whole new set of main characters. Like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on anymore. I baseline know, like, the basics. Yeah. Because yesterday, I don't know, man. I'm congested. I'm going through it. If you were on the live, you know, like, what the hell going on with me? I was not really tapped in until way late at night. Like, and everyone else also happened to be up. Yeah. Which is crazy because I was looking at my clock like, it's 1 a.m. Why is everyone awake? And mind you, you're an hour ahead. So I'm like, why is everyone awake right now?
Child, ties was shifting. So if you're not hip, we always say this every week. So if you're not tapped into TikTok.
So if you're employed, you're not on TikTok every hour of the day.
There is a situation that has stemmed from a situation that has stemmed from a situation that has stemmed from Beyonce.
I know it sounds like you're being fictitious, but that's the actual situation.
So essentially what happened because of the situations that have unfolded because of the situations, a creator by the name of Christian made a video response to a video that was in response to another video. Like, this is the only way I can respond. This is the only way I can explain because this is exactly what happened. So just follow me. Follow me. Because all the other things are not important.
Now, mind you, I referenced Christian's video last week. He's the one who made the joke about since everyone is like, you know, one drop rule biracial. And he made the joke like, oh, apartheid Africa was spitting.
Yeah.
Which was funny.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't really make any like important, you know, like points, if that makes sense.
He was one of the people who felt like suckling the teat of your oppressor was a taste too far.
Right. And then he said, I mean, theoretically speaking, if we're saying that you can guess who has a white mom biracial, most of them do. So that's just like, that was his response to this person, to the other person. So essentially he gets on his close friends, or not close friends, friends only for TikTok.
Yeah.
And he's just like, so I didn't know what y'all meant by saying I shouldn't engage with this person, but now I get it because they've made 49 videos about me. So I don't know. Like I tap out type shit. So basically somebody screen recorded his video from the friends only. And friends only on TikTok is basically your close friends. Right?
Yeah. On only Instagram. People who you follow and follow
exactly.
back. Honestly, when he posted it, I thought, like, you know how he made his response video and he gave the disclaimer? I thought it was going to be something like salacious.
I did too.
It was the most, like, this is no offense to Tori or anything, but like the video was not out of pocket. Like, I thought it was going to be out of pocket.
Yeah.
It was literally
not
just like, oh my God. But she does have that reputation on TikTok. Like, this is not the first time I've heard, like, oh, don't engage with Tori because she's going to make a whole bunch of videos. But I have a reputation of also making a bunch of videos. So it's
But you don't make a whole bunch of videos about one person.
No, she definitely fixates. So what's so funny about this is of our villainous friend group, I feel like I'm the only one who's kind of like, well.
And I just be ignoring you because Mecca, what is your You don't do that. Like, Mecca,
funny because everyone is making their, and that's what's so crazy that they were all saying that, oh, y'all are in the same brain and have the same takes. I'm like, I'm literally watching the group chat say, oh, she's tripping, and I'm over here like, well, I mean, I make 1,000 videos too, and y'all are like commenting, and she's like responding to the comments like. I can see in my brain, especially with how I make videos, how that happens.
Mm-hmm. But the only thing is, like, in this specific situation, it just didn't necessarily warrant all that because he never said anything bad about her or to her. So I was just kind of confused on how I was confused on how he was the one who got all, like, when there was other people that could have got it.
Okay, so this is the thing. I will say, and with, again, I'm not mutuals with Tori, but I am mutuals with, for the most part, everyone who's been involved, like Han, Davin, Christian. I'm mutuals with all of them. And so, and I'm also familiar with everyone's content. We literally talked about this yesterday. So knowing people's content is kind of where these opinions are also stemming from. Because Will is also kind of involved. Well, not involved, but like the people who are not on Christian's side, they tend not to care for his content and Will's content. It's because of the type of type of man that they are specifically, if you get what I'm trying to say.
They're like white women.
Will's girlfriend is mixed.
Okay.
I don't know I don't know what Christian does. I don't know him like that. I have Will on Instagram though.
They give me, like, if they were to date white women, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I mean, that's fair.
That's just what so I think I think that's like the vibe. And it's like, I think it's no shade.
Okay, so that's the thing. That's the consensus, that these are men who are caping for biracial women because they deal with biracial and white women. That's literally what I've seen in comments.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing people say.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing. I feel like that's a fair critique. But also their content is very much reflective. Like, if you watch their content, their siding on this stuff wouldn't be surprising. So I am also familiar with Tori's content. Obviously, from the Tori and Maya situation, that was a very, I'm not going to hold you. That kind of changed the vibe of, like, people's feelings towards Palestine on the internet.
Yeah.
On the internet and on TikTok, I should say. That was, like, a very big moment on TikTok for that movement. Do you want to rehash that or just...
It was so much, and honestly, it's kind of a blur. But I will say I can give, like, a quick, like, synopsis.
Just a quick synopsis, because I do think I've been seeing comments.
It's a catalyst.
It's coming up how she how she carried on during that situation.
Yeah, it's definitely a catalyst. I feel like, honestly, when you're a real TikToker, and I don't mean as far as a creator, I just mean the person who's, like, inside of TikTok all the time.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that happen, and to where we are now, all of the things actually matter. It's kind of hard to, like, give you all the things without giving you all the things. So a quick, like, recap of the situation that happened with Tori and Maya. Maya is a Palestinian creator, but she's Palestinian American, so that's an important factor.
Yeah.
Of course, when everything happened last October 7th with the most recent situation within Palestine and Israel, because that's important to know, because obviously it's a 70-something year long, situation.
That's been going on for years, for decades.
So because of that situation, a lot of people started creating content to kind of spread awareness. Maya was one of those people, like I said, because she is Palestinian American. Fast forward to the election cycle, when people were trying to essentially figure out what we're going to do. Once that switch happened from Joe Biden to Kamala, a lot of creators, myself included, were like, yeah, like, Kamala's the best option we have at this point, and we'll figure it out along the way type shit.
I as well.
Kamala was not really a free Palestine advocate in the way that liberation is expected, but she was definitely calling for a ceasefire. There's a lot of critique to be had. That's a whole other conversation. Yeah. But because of her stance, or lack thereof, for Palestine, a lot of Palestinian creators and people who were very, very vocal about Palestine were kind of not really fucking with Kamala at all. Some of them were saying, I understand voting for her, I just don't fuck with her. Some of them were saying, I'm not going to vote for her and you shouldn't either. There were two conversations happening. I don't want it to be said, because it is a lie to say that all Palestinians and all people who are supporting Palestine was like advocating to not vote for Kamala. That's not true. There was both conversations being had. Maya essentially was making content that was kind of teetering the line. It was kind of hard to tell what she really was, saying. And as far as Tori, how she got involved, she was trying to call, I believe she made a video calling Maya out, and they got into kind of a spout, because when Maya was speaking about the situation, it gave a little anti-Black, absolutely. And so then, because that video kind of sounded anti-Black, Tori made another video calling her out. They ended up getting on a live together, which I always say, if you're in controversy, maybe don't get on live immediately. But hey, that's another conversation for another day.
And I watched.
So they were on live together. I definitely tapped in.
I definitely was tapped in on that.
And I watched live time, Maya having to admit that she overdid things, kind of lied, kind of was teetering into the anti-Blackness. It was at first it was a calm conversation and they were kind of just like seeing each other's side. Then it kind of got a little amped up because just kind of how attitudes started to shift.
Somebody got muted or something.
Yeah, she had muted, but so when they were talking, Maya was kind of just like being very like, yeah. Oh, she was being very like condescending, but then would try to like act like, oh, no. Oh, don't yell. Like trying to like tone police her and stuff. It was weird. Just to kind of come out and try to like drop apologies and like change up and backtrack. It was just a weird situation. And because of that, that was a huge catalyst. That specific conversation and that specific conflict was a catalyst to changing the way a lot of Black creators interacted with the Palestinian fight and movement. A lot of Black creators were like, I'm going to bow out because I feel like a lot of these Palestinian creators are being anti-Black in this situation and not hearing our side of things and are not taking our feelings and our politics and our community into consideration when we're talking about this election. And so that was a point, as well as the actual election was a point of contention. But anyways, that's the whole wrap up of that. But to bring a point back for who Tori is and how she creates her content, she be making a lot of videos essentially about a situation, and that's kind of like
videos. And I y'all are not going to get me to say making a lot of videos is crazy. Maybe it is, but if I'm crazy, that's okay.
Making a lot of videos is not crazy. Blanket statement right there. Making a lot of videos about one person is just like, girl, I'm not watching all that.
I haven't went down and watched all Tori. The ones that have popped up on my For You page, I have sat and watched probably like every.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch whatever come on that For You.
Yeah, but the trying to follow the rabbit hole, no, I really haven't done that.
It's just too much. And what I'm saying is, if I was on the receiving end, which I have been on the receiving end of somebody making several unwarranted videos about me, it's just annoying. It's just annoying. I don't think that I'm not going to say you need your account banned. I'm not going to call you out your name. I may. I'm not gonna do all this extra shit, but it's just, you're also like not wrong for saying that somebody's annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that people are starting to get super like, I hate to sound like this because it makes me sound like I'm those type of people that say you guys are being too woke. I'm never gonna say that, but some of y'all are really actually sensitive about shit. Like, okay, somebody's making a lot of videos. Okay, somebody's in this.
Some of y'all need to go outside.
Absolutely. We're gonna take a break. And we're back.
Some of you guys got to walk out and feel the fresh air and the sunlight on your skin and take a really deep breath and interact with the world around you.
Immediately.
And I promise things on the internet will not seem as insane if you're outside socializing with human beings one-on-one. I have theories. I think COVID really did a number on socialization.
Oh, for sure.
I think that we're going to look back and like,
I was going to say, when the studies finally come out to all the irreparable damage that have happened.
Because like, if you think about it, even with children and the socialization with some kids, and it's like, the kiddies spent a whole entire school year and a half and two in some places, like inside on computers. People don't realize like that shift from being inside, working from home. Yeah. We take internet politics and internet interaction way more seriously than we did pre-COVID. And I say that as someone who was on the internet making content, not on TikTok, obviously, but like YouTube and like Instagram and Twitter. Like, I've always had like kind of a following wherever I went because I say crazy shit. But I think with TikTok and like us all being exposed to each other, and it's great because we learn so much, right? Like I feel like if you use TikTok the right way, you can learn so fucking much. And the context and the nuance that we are constantly talking about, you can really sit and digest and get it because there are so many people speaking from so many different perspectives. Like, let me just say, shout out to Crushes and Spice, Amani. I have disabled cousins, right? But actually seeing disabled creators on the app and talking about, because my cousins are not necessarily nonverbal or are verbal in the way that they can actually advocate for themselves. They need people to advocate for them. So seeing other disabled people who are advocates for disabled people, like, I think it's done wonders for even me and my family in the way that I think and the way that I interact with them. And, just that's like a offshoot for me personally. But if everyone was looking at TikTok through this lens of like, wait, hold on, let me listen. And listen in good faith, not just listen to
and
respond.
listen to the entire thing.
The entire video.
That's how that be getting me. I be watching people's videos, and of course, I'm like anybody. As I'm watching, I'm reading comments as well. I like to digest everything. I'm watching people's comments. I'm like, oh, I know that you typed this before you watched it. Like, I know exactly at what second you wrote this comment.
We make videos, and most of my videos are over a minute because I would like to get the ducats. I need to get paid. The money. I always feel like you're not going to delete that. Because it'd be something like, literally, oh, how could you say this? And then you address it at whatever point in the video, and you're like, you definitely didn't watch the whole video. And when the people come in like, oh, you didn't watch the whole video, and they'll respond like,
and they don't
no,
give a
I
damn.
commented this before I finished. Okay, so delete it.
Delete it. Like, are y'all crazy? No, people are literally insane. And it's like, I enjoy, like I said on the last episode, I did say that, like, my politics definitely skew as very, very far left. I don't speak on a lot of my ideas a lot. Or if I do, I make it sound like a joke. I be dead serious.
What's your furthest left-leaning idea, Jamila?
That prison should be abolished, and so should police.
Police? Okay.
Police and prisons.
What if we abolish prisons? What happens?
I don't know, and that's why I don't speak on it.
Okay,
because I don't have the. I'm not sure what the next step is, and I know that it can't happen today. We can't. With those very far left, certain systems that we want to dismantle, it's going to take time to dismantle. You can't dismantle a system in a day because then all hell will break loose. But
yes,
based off of all the things that I have read, based off of the prison industrial complex as well as police and the system of policing,
I don't disagree.
I'm like, we shouldn't have these. I don't know what the alternative can be. But I'm invested in figuring that out. I'm invested in listening to people's ideas for what that could look like. I'm invested in the possibility of taking the steps to come from that. A step in that direction is even letting people go who have marijuana offenses. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a step in that direction, because people shouldn't be in prisons.
Or the nonviolent offenders.
Right. And what's interesting, because I was talking about this in a lot of my like theory classes in school, is being a quote unquote leftist, being somebody who has these far left leaning politics is very challenging, and it should be. And that's what I think people are not talking about on the internet when they are talking about leftist ideologies. Is being a leftist is very challenging, and it should be, because I'm very challenged with the idea of dismantling the police system as well as abolishing prisons, because again, there are actual evil motherfuckers in here, and I think that they should die. So how can I sit here?
I'm not gonna. I forgot what country it was, but and it was a woman who, I don't know if she's like the runner of the country. I think it's somewhere in Europe, but they just moved to have sexual offenders chemically castrated.
Oh wow!
And I think it's very specific, like child predators. They are chemically castrated, because obviously, like, even with false rape allegations can happen, and I'm acutely aware of that. And so I guess these are the conversations that you would have, like, what are the offenses? What are the things that will go into us doing this to someone? But I do think that if you prey on children, I'm going to give a really big hot take right now. I don't think you can be reformed. I think that we've seen over decades and decades and studies, and I'm a documentary head. These motherfuckers can't be fixed. You let them outside and they do the same thing again, and they go back to prison, and then they eventually end up killing someone, or they kill them to begin with. Like, it's just, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's a put them down. What Dr. Umar say? We can't therapize everyone in the community. Some of y'all gonna be able
we got to put this.
Dr. Umar gets a lot of flack, but when he said that, I said, they're not gonna hear him because he Dr. Umar, but he ate that up. He did.
I cannot psychologize all you niggas.
He said, I can't psychologize all y'all sons. Some of them are going to have to be put down. And it's like, that's insane, but also
And that's the part and that's why I like sitting on this side of the aisle, because what I do know for a fact is being a conservative, being a Republican, being somebody who has far right tendencies, that is not hard because it doesn't challenge your policies because you're being selfish. You're only thinking about yourself and your own tight-knit community. When you are being a leftist, when you're being on this side of the aisle, you are thinking of every single person, liberation for all people, and it is difficult. You are constantly faced with this challenge and your own contradictions. Because just like I said, I think that some people should die for the things that they do. But I also think that the death penalty is very psychotic. I can't even believe that we have the death penalty. But I also think that Jeffrey Dahmer should have been split open. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Fair
it's
enough.
like, it's literally
Like,
looking at yourself in the mirror. Like, I don't know. Like, it is very difficult.
Situationally, it's kind of like one of those things, you know, like what they were spitting in the Bible, an eye for an eye. Sometimes, especially when stuff is unwarranted or, you know, but then you have nuanced cases like, okay, what about self-defense? Do you deserve to die for defending yourself when someone attacked you? Like, obviously, we're not going to unhash and figure this all out now.
Exactly.
But to your point about the other part about TikTok, especially when we have these conversations that I've realized from just taking classes and talking and being around people, first of all, thinking that we're going to make things happen in our lifetime alone, I think is kind of rich. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially even if we're just looking at bare minimum racism. We're literally in the Reconstruction era of right now. Like, every time something huge happens for Black people, there's a decade of swift backlash, and then it kind of levels out. And if you go through history, like, literally it's an up and down trend since slaves were freed. And right now, we are literally experiencing the backlash of Barack Obama being elected president. That's why everything is the way it is. That's why white people have been wilding out, because we had a Black president for 8 years, for 2 terms. And so, like, when you look at that, and then also I constantly think about, like, personally, my parents and your parents too, and your dad's from Mobile. Your parents are from the South, for real. My dad experienced segregation, but California obviously a bit more liberal and always has been, but not at the level like obviously the South did. But his birth certificate does say Negro.
Yeah, my mom went through a segregated all up until high school.
Yeah, no. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you have people who are very much alive, very much well. And if our parents who went through this are still living, so the white people are still living too. The white people who have those exact ideas are still alive and well, and they're in Congress, and they're and they're your senators, and they're your president, and they're all these people. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, when you get on TikTok and act as if we're going to abolish the one drop rule tomorrow, babes, be fucking for real. If you're going to get on TikTok and talk and tell biracial people that they're not Black, babes, go outside. When you're going to get on TikTok and tell people like me and Jamila that we're white passing, babes, be fucking for real. Like, all of this shit is unserious. Like, I'm like, y'all like crazy.
And it's funny. And that's why I laugh at the conversation, because the same people that'll look a biracial in their face who is very obviously visibly Black and say that they're not Black will be the same person to look at me and say that I'm white passing. You're not well. You just talk to talk.
I knew we were cooked when someone said Halle Berry was white passing on Twitter, and they were arguing about it.
Because, bitch, you didn't know Halle Berry was half white, like I didn't know until about 5 years ago.
I'm not gonna hold you. That is when I realized how cooked COVID had us, and how, like, people learning terms but not the actual definitions of the words had got us. I said, no, babes, what you were meaning to say is Halle Berry is a beautiful woman, full stop. But she has Eurocentric features, and she is palatable to white people. You can talk about texturism, featurism, colorism, all the things, but that woman is not white passing. You do not ever look at Halle Berry and be like, that's a white woman. That has never happened. Be so fucking for real. Like, y'all are
like, it's actually funny to me. Like, I think it's just because I don't believe that you believe that. And that's why it's meant to me, because I know for a fact that y'all be just making shit up. And you know what has really been pissing me off lately? These new Blacks. These new Blacks and these new quote unquote organizations that they're building up. The Black Men Don't Cheat. When the first tweet was made, when I remember distinctly, I think it was on my old Twitter, unfortunately.
Black Men Don't Cheat started when we were in college, which at this point is like a decade ago.
Yes.
It's a troll. It's not serious business.
It started as a joke. When they made let me tell you, oh my gosh, I was there live time. It started out as a tweet and a joke that niggas would say, because obviously, like, it's not, it's a hyperbolic statement. Black men don't cheat. It started out as a hee hee ha ha troll. The moment them niggas made a Twitter page and cards that they were sending in the mail to niggas, I said, this is going to be the most misogynistic shit y'all done ever started. And look at that page now. Go to that goddamn page.
I haven't seen the page in years.
Oh, bitch. Every now and again, a tweet will resurface from that page. That page is in Black incel is where they go to thrive. The same niggas who be the passport bros. It is all, they're all the same. That and the what is it called? The fundamental blacks. What the fuck is a fundamental black? Foundational black, a fundamental black, whatever the fuck that shit is. Shut up. Y'all pissing me off. They be trying to say that people who are not in America are not black.
At least the talented 10th was trying to actually advance Black people. What the fuck are you niggas doing?
Just talking, trying to sound smart. That's all
and
y'all
don't
niggas
be
be
smart
trying to
worth
do.
a damn.
I can't stand a fake smart ass nigga.
We're going to take a break.
And we're back.
The new niggas?
Yeah.
I mean, the new niggas are unrealistic. And they're unserious.
They're so unserious.
Uneducated.
Uneducated, unserious, full of shit. They don't do shit. And they owe child support. So
I just, I don't argue. I really don't argue with most men. I don't like to talk politics with most men in a general sense. I just feel like you'll save yourself a lot of like headache and high blood pressure.
yeah, because I actually get so
Worked up.
enraged. Like, but you know what's crazy? Like, when you come from, it is interesting. I'm gonna bring this back to Beyonce actually, because our mother catalyst who has started all of this disarray.
And I know she's on her burner laughing at us.
Laughing and cackling.
They're all sending the videos all around.
Exactly. The funniest part about the conversation about propaganda in America, I kind of made my video basically just saying like, that's not what I got from the performance, but I can also understand where you're coming from if you did. I grew up in a household that we were forbidden to wear anything America coded, like forbidden. I'm not even joking. We did not wear red, white, and blue together at the fuck all. My dad would never allow that shit. But my dad would take it a step further. We weren't allowed to wear camouflage around that motherfucker. My daddy said camo is racist. And to this day, I think it is.
No, but he kind of ate because...
Hello, clock it. Let's put the 2 and 2 together. Because them white folks love camo.
It's definitely a, what is it? Not the alarm bell, like a bat signal. Mm-hmm. Like, we all know when you see the white boys with the mullets and the camo, and like, y'all already know how they coming.
When Ham was saying that patriotism makes her uncomfortable, I 100% understood that. I don't.
Even when she was like, Black patriotism makes me uncomfortable, I do feel like, full stop, a lot of people got that statement. I think where she lost it was the propaganda piece, and then they coupled it together. Yeah, because I mean, in the context of what she was talking about, I'm not going to sit here and act dense and act stupid. Yeah. I know what she meant. Yeah, exactly. And so it's just like, yeah. With that being said, like, there's this the new niggas, the ones who are trying to be like, oh, I am a fundamental Black American, foundational Black American, and I only allow this type. First of all, like I said, y'all owe child support, and a lot of y'all still actively date white women, so the contradictions are insane. Like, and I don't know. I just saw this on TikTok again. I don't know if this is true, but I can say in my own experience, I've been into it with a creator. If you know, you know, she's like a crazy lady. And she always, whenever we get into it, she always brings up my skin tone, but her children are biracial. Her husband was white. And so like whenever,
I'd be so
tried
confused.
to tell the internet that I said that I was talking shit about her kids, when I simply said, you're constantly coming at me for my skin tone and your children are biracial. That doesn't even make sense. Like, it's actually mind-boggling because I don't know if it's true, but they said Tori's boyfriend is white. I don't know if that's true. But what I'm telling you, I'm just telling you what I saw in the comments.
That's funny.
It just seems like it's always the people who are like, fuck biracials, fuck light skins, and y'all are adding to the light skin biracial agenda. You're procreating into it. What's going on?
Some of y'all are liars, and I want y'all to be exposed. Like I said, these same men who do all this rah-rah, they be having the American flag in their bio.
And I'm not gonna hold you. Y'all are just as bad for biracial children as the white people. Like no funny shit. What is it to see your parents talking shit about, biracial people, light skinned people, whatever, and that's literally you.
And just also imagine your parents sitting up talking nonsense.
You're just saying nonsense. Scared. And again, I'm not the pussy police. I don't care who you fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't none of my business.
I don't care who you suckle.
I don't care who you suckle. I don't care if it's an oppressor. I don't care.
It literally does. It doesn't change anything about me.
I'm going to be straight shooter here. If you're talking rah-rah shit and I go on that page and you're fucking someone white, I'm instantly laughing.
I'm going to laugh. And that's all it is. And I think that people confuse us saying that if you're doing all this and then on top of that you be dating white people, I'm gonna laugh. They confuse that with us saying, oh, so you have a problem with interracial and loving versus Virginia? No, I don't give a damn who you date or marry. I just think it's very funny.
I really wish in this lifetime that Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner had ended up together. I believe Loving versus Virginia was created for Whitney and Kevin Costner. And it did happen. In a parallel reality, it did. But I have no issue with that. I do think we need to make the NBA black again because y'all just made a whole bunch of big-ass light-skinned niggas in the past 2 decades. But that's just a sports take. Rolling in the door. Oh. You got biracials making melody music. It's like,
that's a banger.
We're in a different era.
We are.
I really like that song.
No, he ate that. Like, what's crazy is when I heard it, I was thinking like, is this a song like that I just maybe never heard? Turns out it's new.
It's new. and that's why it's so iconic.
I love it. I love it.
I reposted it. I watched this guy's TikTok and he was saying, LiAngelo, like the song is not so bad, it's good. It's literally
I reposted that one.
Song.
Yeah, no, it's like actually good.
And it's the type of music we grew up hearing.
Yeah.
And that's why it's funny.
And that's why we're vibing.
The reason it's funny is because it's LiAngelo Ball. But like the song, if you didn't know who it was, it would be like, oh, this ride, like regardless. Mm-hmm. It's just the fact that it's LiAngelo Ball is also like, this is how, like you, like, damn.
Yeah.
LeVar should have put you in the studio, baby. What is we doing?
Thank you so much for tapping into your roots and learning your history.
Thank you.
I'll always say this. I seen somebody say like, let go of nostalgia. No, I actually will never let it go. As a matter of fact, in 20 years, I'm going to be nostalgic about today. I love nostalgia. It makes me feel warm in the heart.
We're at that age. We're at that age where we're watching younger people be nostalgic about our literal, I'll say our first era. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's like
watching people clearly younger than me on Twitter drool over Beyonce's EXO video. Mind you, let me just say, I drooled over it in real time. I love that song.
I was there.
And I love that music video. Her whole look, I remember like trying to recreate like that exact outfit with the booties and the studded shorts and the crop
studs.
Like, oh my God. And then watching people be like, this is so 2014. And looking at it back and be like, this video really does encapsulate style in that era, like perfectly. That shit is so 2014.
If you weren't wearing a dark lipstick back in the day,
what were you doing? It's so bad. And then
would I do it today? Fuck
the Jeffrey Campbell chunky heels. Watching people on TikTok try and recreate those looks. It's like, oh, you guys are being nostalgic over my era. I love that. Bring back the purple lipstick so we can really get into it. The heroin. What was it called? Heroin?
Heroin. There was heroin, Ruby Roo. What was the pink one called?
I don't know. I was a purple girl. Because my mom would, because you know my mom's a purple lady. So that's how I would convince her to get that. Because I'm like,
definitely
purple.
Had heroin.
All right.
Definitely had Ruby Woo. Definitely had the pink motherfucker. I can't remember what that shit was called, but it was what a time.
I had a picture. It's actually still my email picture. And little mom saw it and she was like, I can tell this was a long time ago. And I was like, why? And she was like, you're wearing purple lipstick. I said, whoa.
I mean, yeah.
Drag me to hell and back.
Valid. That's valid. She did kind of eat you up with that one, no
she
shade,
ate me.
But
it devoured. I didn't even have a response. I could do nothing but laugh.
Yeah.
Have you been seeing Gen Z? So here's the thing. Gen Z is getting into that age range where it's like, oh, you all are old and cringy, which it happens to every generation, right? As millennials, see, we're on and I always say this, depending on what list you look at, 96 is always like, sometimes it's included in millennials, sometimes it's included in Gen Z, which is why I call myself a millennial because it's such on the cusp of both.
And it does make sense because we really are.
I was going to say, we flip back and forth. We still saw everything happen. But I can say by the time we saw everything happen, but by the time we were like in 6th grade, the world had really switched over to computers. But I can say the first 12 years of my life were probably very akin to that of someone raised in the 90s. In terms of going outside, in terms of we didn't have...
if you have old-ass parents like us...
Let me tell you something.
That was extended because they wasn't always up to date.
come on, T. If your parents was old, that's why I laugh. So this is a little tidbit. People, I had born in the 80s crack baby, and then I had Unc. Always like, why was you dating them old ass men? I was like, honestly, like, true T, their parents and my parents are peers. Like, literally. So when I would be talking to them, we would have so much in common. And it is always a joke amongst, like, in both situations. Like, you is really like a peer. Yes, our daddies is the same age. What are we talking about? You get what I'm saying? Like, the stuff we would be talking about when it came to our parents would be like, whoa.
Mecca's going to always find a way to justify her dating 50-year-old men.
They weren't 50, Jamila. They were not 50.
I have to drag it.
Not 50. They're both, Unc was born in 79, so he missed the 80s by like a year. But
Mecca almost punched the camera.
No, you didn't. You knew that.
I didn't know 79, bitch.
I
never heard
baby
79.
Born in 81. They're only 2 years apart.
I knew. Okay, I didn't know no nigga was born in no motherfucking 70s, bitch. 70s,
It
bitch.
was 79.
That's the 70s, ho.
It was 79. Our mom, my mom is older than his mom. That's the gag of it.
Well, teen moms have always been a thing.
I don't think she was a teenager. I think she was like in her early 20s when she had him. Anyway.
70 fucking 9, bitch.
Much like you and your old man, I thought he was younger when I met him because he's very well preserved.
He was born in 89.
Yeah, but you said you thought he was younger. I thought Unc was younger.
I did. But you thought he was younger and he was still, like, you still thought he was older. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I thought he was like in
you
his
knew
late
he was
30s.
older. I thought the nigga was my age.
I really thought, I told you this, when I met him, I thought we were only like 10 years apart. I thought he was like 38 or something. And he was like 43.
But also, I don't talk to him anymore, so.
It was a resolution. We'll talk about it later. Mm-hmm.
It was a conversation.
Oh, a conversation?
It was a conversation.
That's
I wouldn't say
fine.
it was a resolution. There was a conversation.
But it's deaded.
I'm cool on it.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
I just, I got the ick.
Jail will do that,
And you can't un-ick the ick.
You want to hear something funny about jail? So when I was back in SAC, there's this boy, and I'd had a crush on him since I was like in high school, and he is so fine. Oh my God, like he's still fine to this day. He's so fucking fine. And when I moved back to SAC after I left Hampton, I was like living at home and he was popping shit at me, and I was so excited because it was like my teenage dreams realized, right? But I was also talking to my ex in Baltimore at the time, but he was in Baltimore and I was in SAC, and so was this boy from high school. So I was definitely taking the boy in SAC much, much more serious. So we were supposed to go on this date, right? And we were going to go see Creed 2, just to like the time era. The night of Creed 2, mind you, I did not have my license. So he was like, hey, we might need to reschedule the date. And I was like, oh, what happened? Like, I'm all excited because I worked at Nordstrom and the movie theater was in the lot of where I worked. I bought a change of clothes. I was so excited. Oh my God, my man finally coming to get me. He was like, yeah, I got a warrant out. So if we, get stopped, and this is so freaking Sacramento. If we have a warrant, if I have a warrant, if we get stopped, I'm going to have to obviously turn myself in. Are you comfortable driving my mom's car to her house? And I was like, I don't even have a license, so no. And so he turned himself in. That was like a Friday. He spent the weekend in jail. That whole weekend I spent talking to my ex. And by the time he got out of jail on Monday, I was like, you know what? Actually,
I don't care anymore.
This man in Baltimore seems to be like really into me, and I got the ick. And so I always like think about,
why would he turn himself in on a Friday? He's stupid.
I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. It's not my business. But I always think about like, oh my God, that literally changed like the trajectory of my life. Like that very small, new like little jail trip. And then he came out here with Kai a couple years ago. He was still fine. He was trying to fuck, but I didn't fuck him. And I kind of regret that. But that's all.
We can circle back.
I think he's in a relationship now, honestly. Which is cool. It didn't happen.
Next time.
We had 2 times. It didn't happen. But knowing he was trying to get at me was like very vindicating. You know how that is. When a nigga you always wanted to be like, I like you too. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Love you.
Let's go ahead and spin it.
We're going to take a break.
And we're back.
Let's get into our segment, Spin It.
Please keep that in.
I was like, Only a couple people are gonna get that. This is our segment of the show where we get into messy, salacious, and low down, dirty, disgusting situations y'all might be in. Now, I want to preface this: Jamila and I are not PR professionals. We are just girlies who studied PR in undergrad and love the hustle. So, if you have any questions about how to possibly put a PR spin on a situation in your life, you can email at unhingedimmoralpod@gmail.com. Jamila, what do we have this week?
Hi, Mecca and Jamila. Please help me spin this. I am Miss Vanilla, and I am dating Mr. Vanilla. I live in a city now where there are mostly vanilla people. However, I meet Mr. Chocolate at work a while back, and we've been swirling together for a while now.
Okay, pause.
Are
they white?
I'm assuming.
Oh, welcome. I didn't know you guys were here. That's great. Okay, keep going.
Hey, Caucasians.
Hey, y'all.
I've been contemplating whether I should only eat chocolate recently. Mr. Vanilla is a safe option. He's reliable and a kind person. I think he would make a great husband and father, but I don't think I get everything I need from him. I've been fantasizing about chocolate while tasting vanilla. Mr. Chocolate is much more adventurous, and the chemistry is off the charts. However, Mr. Chocolate is significantly older than me, has been married before, is poly, and has a child.
Oh,
I worry.
Vanilla. No, she means vanilla like I'm vanilla, baby. Like
she's white, he's white.
No, she means like they are normal. Like I shouldn't say normal.
No. They're white.
Oh, you're looking at the picture.
They're white.
Okay, well, my bad, y'all. White people.
She said the city we live in is mostly vanilla people.
I thought she meant like, white picket fence, and chocolate is poly.
White.
So, that's because vanilla means straight-laced sex as well.
Right, but that's not what she meant.
Okay.
She's Caucasian. Yes. I worry that if I get with Mr. Chocolate, it will ruin my career and my social life. I know most of my friends here, though, Mr. Vanilla. A switch out feels high risk, but high reward. Can you help me spin it? Can I please start?
I was going to say, I've been trying to figure out if we were talking about missionary sex or white people. So you got to start. You seem to know where the hell what we're even talking about.
First of all, when I tell you I'm actually so fucking weak at this, you like Mr. Chocolate because clearly this is your first black. And it's exciting for you, as you just said. And you said you're fantasizing over him and he's exciting, he's adventurous. You don't know shit about this nigga. And you're willing to leave your white husband or your white man who could be your husband and father of your kids for this black man who's poly. Bitch, are you poly? If you're not poly, why do you want to get with him?
That was going to be the only point. I said, I don't know what the hell y'all got going on. But if you're a monogamous person, getting with a poly person is a suicide mission. No,
have you lost? And he has a child? He's not poly. He's just not paying child support. He's not poly. He just is a freak. He's not poly. He just likes to fuck bitches and not get in trouble.
Come for you, Jamila.
I don't care. I don't care. There are some people who are truly poly. He's not.
Did you see that conversation happening a couple months ago? Alexa started it.
I did.
Hey,
and I was just
and shout out to Francesca Ramsey. She's poly. She was
she is
talking. She made our wallpaper.
Mm-hmm. This is the thing. There are some people who are truly poly. Most people that say that they're poly, I don't believe them.
I was gonna say,
I'm sorry, I don't.
What you just described about him, I would not believe he was poly.
He's not. He told you that so that you would not question him fucking other bitches.
Yeah,
and he wants the ability to have multiple bitches. Mm-hmm. Is he going to marry 3 bitches, put y'all in the same home, and do an actual poly relationship? No.
He just wants to fuck multiple people. Into the unhinged and the immoral parts of, PR, because it doesn't have to be ethical. Just cheat.
Right.
Don't
leave your relationship. Clearly you love the white boy.
PR is not ethical. Babes, you said you're fantasizing about the man.
And here's the good tea about this. Since you're in an all-white town and clearly, because you said your friends would judge you. That's because they're a little racist. I know your tea. It's okay, sis. I'm not judging you here. Y'all are a little racist, but not like the, not like the obvious racist, the type of racist where you're clearly not around niggas a lot. So you're kind of
like the type of racist where you where if you were to like procreate with this young man, they would like come up and touch your kid's hair and be like, oh my God, how do you even deal with it?
Yes. So what I mean by that is this gives you a great opportunity to cheat in peace. Nobody would ever suspect the nigga.
Would suspect a thing, girl. Just go fuck that nigga.
Yeah, just keep fucking him and just say you're poly too. Like, what do you mean? And just keep him in the closet like that sounds real racist. Maybe not keep him in the closet.
You're jumping out of your light skin right now.
Just keep him at bay.
No,
y'all met him. You met him at work. Where did you meet Mr. Chocolate?
At work, in the corner, girl. Keep him in a corner.
Fuck him
with
in the
all
office.
The other black people in your town. It sounds like they're all in the corner.
And the good thing is, and here's the good thing, you can like actually be a little like out. You know what I'm saying? Like just go to the black spots because your white friends ain't going there, so you can really go out in public with this nigga.
What's so insane about that, and I talk about this all the time. Houston is such a segregated city that if you wanted to cheat and not get caught, you would cheat with someone who is like not the same race as you.
Exactly.
Because we don't go to the same places. There is no way that if I were to go like to a white spot, I'm like fucking a white man and my niggas over here, he wouldn't know a thing.
Yeah, don't take him to the pub.
Honestly, yeah, girl, go ahead, text him now. Be like, hey, can we link up? And then when white women go to black spots,
we know.
First of all, you already know everyone gonna kind of be looking at you. The nigga's gonna be like, oh, that's exotic. And he might feel like he popping shit because you're on his arm. That's how.
But we like mind our business a lot more than you would think. Like we're definitely messy individuals. Don't get me wrong.
No.
We are
That's
messy.
why I said the men. I said women.
Yeah.
There's this perception that black women are the ones looking at those situations, and it really is the black men. Which is, I feel like that's why black men say that because when they see it, do you understand what I'm saying? They perk up. Black women don't really. Like, it's just like you'll look over and you'll be like, oh. Yeah. And then you look away. Black men, on the other hand, when they see like black women with white men, do be doing all that shit. I've seen that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why they say that. Yeah, girl, go to the spot.
Take him to the boom. Go with your nigga to the boom boom room and take your white boy to the pub.
Yeah.
And have best of both worlds, and just but you need a friend that you can confide in because you're gonna want to like spill your tea. So you're gonna have to, maybe one of your friends is trustworthy. I don't know. I feel like if I was a cheater, I would need to tell one of my friends.
I don't know. You said your friends would judge you though. So not to sound like this, but you would probably they're not gonna judge you because you're cheating. They're gonna judge you because he's black.
Because he's black, yeah.
So
maybe you're gonna meet a black girl out at the. You're gonna meet a black girl at the boom boom room, and y'all gonna become cool, and then that way you can like talk shit with her and kind of like have that little kumbaya or whatever. But yes, sister.
But that does seem a little exciting.
No, she's having a blast.
I was gonna say if you're and even taking,
but don't leave your.
I was gonna say even taking race out of it. If you're don't leave your white man and laugh.
No, because if you leave him, you're gonna be
you blow your life
single.
Up. Imagine you blow your life up for this black man. Not only are you, because even again taking race out of it, you would resent him, and he's a nigga.
Yeah, you would turn into a hooded creature if you catch my drift.
You're gonna turn into what's that white woman with the bad bleach job? I know I'm describing so many Republican white women right now.
Mecca,
huh?
They found out who did it.
Who did what?
Who's the Judas of TikTok?
In real time on camera? Wait, who? Say the name.
You know exactly who it is. That soul child nigga.
That was me that screen recorded that friends only video and sent it to Tori. I did it. No one's going to do anything about it. No one's going to beat me up. No one's going to delete my accounts. No one's going to do nothing to me. I screen recorded and sent it to her because I thought that video was cowardly. You made a video about that black woman first.
He said no one gonna do a goddamn thing.
Get the last word, and you can't shut her up. You want to sit here and be a whole weirdo, making video after video about her, and then one video you make it friends only, bro. Like that is cowardly to me. That's weird. So yeah, I was being messy, and I sent it to her. I did that. We're gonna do something about it. We're gonna do something about it. Exactly what I thought. Like y'all let these parasocial relationships on TikTok mess your head up. I'm not your friend, homie. I was your mutual. I
Oh,
don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing.
well, he did kind of.
You and your little
We're
crew
just
of people
mutuals. We're
that
not
y'all rock
friends.
with on TikTok. You
How long is the
supposed-
video,
You
Jamila?
know what I'm saying? Like
It's almost over.
y'all supposed fake activists and stuff. Y'all really starting to piss me off, bro. Like real stuff, bro. I'm really getting tired of y'all.
Mind you, we're trying to record an episode of the pod. So the fact that you would even look down at your phone and be like, pause! Like, okay, well, honestly, that's not surprising.
I'm not surprised
I'm
one
not
bit.
surprised in the slightest, but that is a good resolution.
Wow.
I feel like that was a good wrap up.
That was delicious. White girl, I do want to know. I want a part 2.
Honestly, yes, I know.
Please let me know how it is after you go to the black spots.
I know you have the account, so it's like you need to. I want to hear. I really got to talk about it on here. I just want to know the conclusion.
Yeah, I really want to know what it's like when you go to the boom
saying
boom
before
room.
this is that even if you were to like don't tweak, and I wouldn't. I'm not saying this because your man's white and y'all are white. I'm saying even if y'all weren't white, if you have a man at home who loves you and is committed to you, and y'all have built a life together, do not tweak because you're going through some weird sexual.
Have y'all never watched Temptation by Tyler Perry?
I was gonna say, no, she's white. She's never seen Temptation.
Go watch Temptation, bitch. Go watch Temptation, bitch.
Girl, we're gonna give you some homework.
Scared.
Put this in the DM for real. Go watch Temptation.
Go watch Temptation.
Go watch Temptation right now. And when you write us back, like if now wrap it up because you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Because Temptation will tell you why you need to do that. But what I'm saying is, do not blow your life up. Do not blow your life up over this nigga. You want to go have fun. I'm assuming you're not married, and I'm gonna tell you like my mama told me: you're single till you're married. Point. Full stop. So
and there's 2 things you'll see. There's 2 things that she did wrong with her escapades. Now, obviously, if you want to be moral, cheating is wrong. Okay, but we're not talking about that. Clearly, you want to cheat.
And unhinged immoral. It doesn't matter.
What we're saying is, if you want to get out, scot-free. 2 things she did wrong. She was playing around for too long. She didn't know when to come home. She didn't know when to come home, and she wasn't wrapping it up.
Don't tweak.
She didn't wrap it up. And that's all I got to say. Go watch Temptation.
Let me tell you,
and come back to it. Because if she would have came home sooner and she would have wrapped up, she would have been good to go. By the time she got back to her nigga, he would have, started being excited again.
And even if you wanted to make it in like an elongated affair, do not get too wrapped up in these niggas. Your first nigga, it can get the best of you. We've all been there. You could really fuck around and fall in love. Don't do that. He's poly anyway. Just be smart.
And here's the thing.
Wait, I keep saying, even if he wasn't black, he's just poly. Like, don't fall in love with him.
Sorry. Listen, we got to be real with you, sister. Listen, if the issue with your white man is that he's not kinky or freaky enough, here's what you do also. Take the freaky shit that you're learning from the nigga and bring it home.
And then when he asks,
that's what cheating is for.
He might ask, we're getting into real shit that I know that people will be like, that's not even accurate. What if this nigga's dick is bigger than her white man's? How would they? He got to be really good at eating cat.
Well, I assumed that much just based off of what she was saying.
Oh, she said more?
She didn't. I just assumed.
Okay.
She just said she was so it was just so exciting and adventurous. It just gave big dick.
Yeah, no, okay, that's what
I don't know if her white man's is not.
No,
I'm just saying,
I wanted to say, I'm glad that we're here because that is also, I did not necessarily take that he had her hanging from the ceiling. I took from that he has a big dick.
Right.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Girl, if you want to keep being unhinged and immoral for like a while, keep your white man. Fuck him on the side. Don't catch feelings. It's easier said than done. And it should be really easy for you considering that you said socially, this is the problem with society. We're into our boxing and our confines and our communities, and popping out with this man where you live at will be completely taboo. So it should be very, very easy for you to just fuck on this man and that's all it be. And go home to your man.
But
honestly,
listen,
sister,
you got to be careful.
Men do it up every day. You need to be careful. Ben used to have whole separate families. The economy is gutter, but
see, because you're tiptoeing in interracial extramarital affairs, you really need to use that condom. Because bitch, if you get pregnant, you can't just fake it and be like it's your baby. Because if that baby come out brown, you're in trouble. Now, if you was fucking on 2 white men, and if you got pregnant, if you want to say it's yours and just kind of lie, baby, who gonna know?
You know, I've thought about this in regards to myself. I like in my head, I said, if I ever cheat, I can always like, and the baby might doesn't come out skin tone wise. I'm like, well, look at me, and then
Look at me.
look at the guys I be talking to. I'm dead. Like I
Anything
can
can
have
literally happen.
any color child and be like, oh, this is your baby.
And it's funny because it's like, I always say this now, this is really like just me being ignorant. I told y'all, I'm going to always be a little bit ignorant.
A little bit, and we need it.
My son looks like me, full stop. Like he looks just like me. And so I feel like at this point, okay, it's clear that I have strong genes. So if I ever get married and have another baby and that baby is probably going to look like me, it's going to look like I have one baby daddy.
That's a fair assertion. I will say
so I'm just kind of like, period.
Looks like you, full stop. He does have his daddy's eyebrows though. The little uni. That's not you.
That's me. That is me. That's the baby pictures. He has hair all the way down here. That's all me.
So Jamila's being a bit delusional right now.
I'm not.
It's the thing is Noah does look like Jamila, full stop, but it's like this right here. It's like this right here. You can say it's you, but that because I mean, and especially the older he gets, I'm like, no, that little strip.
No.
You know when bitches don't fuck with their baby daddy. That little strip though.
It's because I know, like y'all know, I get my eyebrows done.
Excited.
My baby, I literally all the hair because he has hair that comes it connects the entire forehead. That's the exact same thing that I have.
When Jamila sent the ultrasound when she was literally still pregnant and the profile, it was the way you could tell because obviously Jamila has very distinctive features.
You can see that baby like me from
her,
the womb.
like her profile in Noah's ultrasound. It was the funniest shit. I said, whoa, that's freaky.
It was in there perfect.
Like the nose and the big ass lips. Like the way it was like, oh, that's cool. That's clearly your face in there.
I said, oh, thank God.
Clearly your fucking face.
Yes. Like, I'm not even joking. Because I watched him be delivered because I had a mirror.
Well,
so
okay.
As soon as his face popped up, I said, me.
Hey,
he looks like me.
I feel like the same will be for me because my dad has such strong genes and me and Darrington look so much like our dad. And then my dad looks so much like his mom. So I'm interested, especially, and you can relate to this because like how both your parents are dark skinned and then but your dad's mom is light skinned and then you and Noah skipped and like all this shit, right? Mm-hmm. And then not even, you're the only one, like that's how my family is. My dad is like the light skinned one. And then he got with my mom who's not light skinned. And then me and Darrington's darker than me. But I do want to see like, what are my kids going to look like? Because I have like a rainbow family of like skin shades. So I do know. That's why when people are always like, oh no, like try and make it seem like my kid would be mad light skinned. I'm like, no, not necessarily. Like I have 2 dark skinned grandparents.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Really
like, not
we're really shaking dice. We're
shaking dice here. Like it could really go either way. Like I'm just so interested. I hope, and not even skin tone, face wise. Like I look like my grandma. My dad looks like his mom. We all look like them in the face. Like I hope my kid looks like me in terms of like the face.
I love having strong genes.
Like I want my kid to look like I want
feel
it to be
powerful.
very clear.
Like, I feel like I know
it feels powerful. Like I want it to be clear. Like that's your child. And you know what I would actually eat up if I did have like a brown skin, dark skin child who had my exact face. Mm-hmm. I would eat that shit up. I'd be like, yes, it's me in different form.
Like genes are still strong. Like this genes are still fighting through. Like I ate that.
That literally like, no, you see what I did there. That's so cute. So yeah, we'll see when I have kids what happens. It is definitely a shaker of the dice.
We're going to take a break. And we're back. Well,
what an episode. Just make sure you don't have no melanated babies by this nigga, and you should be all right.
You're gonna get caught
Wrap it up.
But
go ahead and take the homework. Watch Temptation.
But we do. I was gonna say, make sure you watch movie and do your homework, and give us a part 2, sister. Give us a part 2.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, this has been such a great episode. We'll see you guys next time.
Before we get off, I know we're going to do comments. We got to read the comments. Before we bring the comments in, do not forget to subscribe to our Patreon. This week, we're going to have Horace Gold. We already did the Brothers episode. That is up and running. If you are not already subscribed to our Patreon, it is $3 a month, USD. The links are available in both me and Jamila's social media profiles. And Horace, we're going to record that episode Thursday. Today is Tuesday. So that's going to be the next one that goes up.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the Apple comments. Keeks Coaches. Now, y'all ain't right making them tear up with this last episode. I'm 28 and dealing with the aging problem in terms of family myself. And man, it is a mind fuck. My dad is pushing 70, caring for my sister's youngest boy in her passing. Damn. And this last episode got me right in the GOAT. Keep reopening for us, just trying to figure out this stuff out. Aw. Listen.
Wishing you all the positive, energy that, like you said,
literally.
that's hard. Definitely resonates with us.
From Glitch and Chaos, y'all cut up on the app, so I knew I had to add the podcast to my list. Exactly. My Amor, y'all are some beautiful alchemists. I feel like I'm listening to my cousins talk to one another about some wild stuff. I'll be tuning in every week. Love the consistency. Thank you so much. Shakaya, 10 out of 10. I enjoy you guys so much on TikTok, so I knew the pod would be even better. Thank you.
And I'm going to be reading the Spotify comments. These are from the New Year's Eve episode. And Michaela says, I really appreciate you guys being so open and emotional. Jamila, I really relate to you in particular. I got fired last year after having a baby. Whoa, that's like your exact situation, Mila. I've always wanted to become a content creator, and I just started scripting my first YouTube video. And I've had some trouble securing jobs in corporate, and I really think it's because God is leading me to something greater. You really let me know that it may take time, but my dreams can come true.
Oh, yes. Push through, sister.
Kat Regirio, I hope I said that right, said, thank you, Jamila, for being so open and vulnerable. I get grieving a loved one who has dementia. It's hard. My condolences. This podcast gets me through the workday, and I love the energy you both bring. Thanks, girl.
Thank you.
Essie Buki said, I really enjoy this pod. I had a link who has herpes and it was never an issue. He took his meds and would let me know if he was having a flare-up. Thank you for the education on this. Okay, so I was going through the comments, and that was not the only comment. There was also someone else who has herpes themselves and was like, this has never been an issue. I take my medication, like all my partners have been straight. So I'm so happy that people were confirming that information that we were giving out in terms of ending the stigma and just educating ourselves on HSV 1 and 2. So y'all, thank you for that. Quinny Q says, Mecca is giving me Barbara from Abbott Elementary, getting these names wrong. Cindy B. Vance, it's Courtney B. Vance.
I'm dead.
And then St. Emilio's Fire is St. Elmo's Fire. I love
we just be talking so fast. Who knows? I didn't even catch that.
Messing the name of child. And then Samara Jane said, loving the pod. Please don't forget to stop in Columbus, Ohio when your live tour starts. Ooh.
Okay.
I heard Sky Jackson baby daddy from Ohio. I don't know if it's Columbus though. So y'all like that?
Yerky.
Herky jerky yerky.
All right, these are from YouTube at Chelsea Freeman 4609. Hearing y'all both be so vulnerable this episode was so amazing and so needed. I lost my grandmother September 2022, and I lost my wife of 10 years in December of 2023. And having to process those losses while being a mother has been such a huge challenge. And I really felt so seen by y'all's commentary on it.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about that too, but I'm glad you're getting through it. At Alila Kenya. I'm sorry.
I feel like
baby.
that's Kenya.
Kenya, okay.
I know my people. That's Aliyah Kenya.
The respect I have for you two has expanded. The vulnerability, realness, and reflection shown in this video, I absolutely love it because this type of shit isn't typically catered to younger Black women. Watching y'all's growth, especially in the fourth quarter of the year, has been amazing. Seeing two Black women really stand on who they are is so refreshing and inspiring. I'm super excited for what the rest of 2025 brings y'all. And I'll keep saying this. Jamila is my Gemini sister. Praying for y'all and love y'all. Thank you so much. Shout out to the Geminis.
Y'all are crazy.
Sinclair.
Let's be real. A bit weird.
Ed Sinclair 292. The timing of this episode being released was perfect. Love you guys. Talk about your dreams and desires of your career on the podcast, publicly setting it in stone. And grateful to witness the manifestation of Fred's dream through Mecca. Period. Shout out to Fred. Ed Victoria 4865. That PR flip was so good and informative. Like, if I was on the receiving end of that advice, I'd feel better, at least a little. Thank you, Mecca, for making sure it was a serious conversation as opposed to making a mockery of it and laughing about it. Period. At Super Nola Girl. Hey, Nola.
Nola, I need a cold drink.
Y'all opening up this episode touched my heart. My heart has been so heavy with the thoughts of life and how fleeting it can be, and the fact that we truly live to die, and have to live every moment like it's our last. And more so with the recent events that just happened down here in New Orleans. It's so crazy to think about the struggles. It's so hard. Thank you for sharing. It means a lot. It means a lot to hear, and I love that y'all power through it and continue to be the light for so many of us, despite the darkness you may feel at times.
Girl, that was because what happened in New Orleans, I feel like it's not getting enough attention, but that's my own conspiracy theories. Like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna circle back to that for sure.
Yeah, that's next part. We gotta get up out of here.
I'm so proud of you. Oh, this is Ed. T Michelle 421. I'm so proud of you both. Got me sitting here crying like I know y'all for real. Happy to be in this community every Thursday.
Thank you.
I love y'all so much. I love these.
Like
Those
these
are my favorite
comments, I feel like these were some of the best ones that we read, especially reading through them throughout the week. I think that we get on here and a lot of times it's jokes, but sometimes, to get serious and be vulnerable and like start crying and and have a whole bunch of people being like, oh my God, I needed this right now. You needed to see me cry, girl. I don't never want no one to see me cry. So,
but I'm glad it touched y'all for real, because it was definitely. I'm glad
it was able.
It was emotional, but it was good. Like I wasn't. It was good. I think it definitely. We felt the same way that y'all felt. I felt like that release was needed for us because we be building that shit up because we're both not.
It was.
We both don't like to cry.
I'm glad that it was also felt on the other end of the camera.
Yeah. For sure. Well, okay, y'all. I actually have to get to work because, like Phaedra, I have jobs.
Right. I was about to say you about to go to the funeral home, but she's not. She gotta go film something. But all right, y'all.
All right. See y'all next time. Unhinged and Immoral is hosted by Jamila Bell and Mecca.
Produced by Melisa D. Monts and Diamond MPrint Productions.
Post-production by Coco, Llorens.
Production assistant by Melanie D. Watson.
Music by Audie and Brooklyn Billionaires.
And graphics by Claudia, Choi.